This is KLEAN Radio.
Welcome, everybody out there listening to KLEAN Radio. I'd like to welcome all our fans out there. I'd like to welcome everybody that finds us on Facebook at KLEANradio.com/Facebook, Facebook.com/KLEANradio. And that would be pretty cool if it were the other way around. But let's welcome everybody out there. And I'd also like to welcome, we have an amazing guest tonight. I'm going to get to him in 1 second. But there's something quickly I wanted to talk about. There are a lot of people out there that are depressed tonight. They're going through a rough time. And it has nothing to do with financial instability. It has nothing to do with losing a loved one. Well, maybe in this case it does. It has to do with the NFL being off the air. And we talk about seasonal affective disorder. Tonight it's NFL affective disorder. There are a lot of people out there that don't know what to do with themselves. And it's actually, I'm actually saying this a little mockingly, but there are players out there that talk about going into the offseason. There was an interesting article on ESPN about this. But what do sports fans do? You know, for every Sunday night, they did every Sunday for about 6 months. They didn't have to spend time with their wife, their kids. And now all of a sudden, their family's back in their life, and they don't know how to deal with it. And what are we going to do about them? And one of the biggest sports fans I know is also the amazing director of the Bill Maher Show and the Jim Rome Show. And so let's welcome Paul Casey back to KLEAN Radio. Paul.
Thank you, Judah.
So you're a sports fan.
I am.
You're as big of a sports fan as I am, probably. You're a Yankee fan. You're a Giant fan.
Yes, I am.
And what do you? I mean, what? I know you're okay with it right now because you actually have an amazing life.
Yeah, I do.
But how are you dealing with? How do you think people? You know, I was sort of saying it mockingly, but people really do go through a rough time when the NFL's done.
You know, for me, I've loved all sports, so I go from season to season. I really do. So, so
you don't have seasonal affective disorder or sports defective?
I do not. Pitchers and catchers just reported. I mean, it's fantastic. We're going to have an interview with Clayton Kershaw on our show.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah, tomorrow. So that'll be nice. It's baseball season's around the corner. The Olympics are happening right now. Lots of exciting stuff there in a very controversial place, but. That's certainly keeping me interested. And
so a couple of months ago, we had Pat O'Brien on, the amazing Pat O'Brien, and one of the things that was really cool was that he, he's had this career in entertainment, he's had this career in sports, and you're sort of in that same vein right now, not in front of the camera, but you direct these two shows, and that's a really cool thing. It's like the two loves of everybody's lives you get to do. Yeah,
it's pretty cool. In terms of, for the Jim Rome Show is really a discussion show. So we do a lot of most of the athletes that we do interviews with. We do via satellite because they're in their training camps. And we do them pertinent to the seasons. And then we usually have a panel of some athletes, maybe sports writers or coaches and sports psychologists who discuss the issues of the day.
And so if anybody's just tuned in, you are listening to KLEAN Radio. Give us a call. The number is 800-222-5222. That's 800-222-5222. We're a show about addiction and recovery and everything in the middle. One of my favorite things about the guest tonight, Paul Casey, is that I've gotten to watch him progress. I've gotten to see you since the beginning.
I know.
And why don't you tell people a little bit of, whatever you feel comfortable with, what that was like a little bit.
Well, I think the last time I was here, I wasn't even a year sober,
right?
And so I'm coming up on 3 years sober, and
wow.
it's been amazing.
Yeah.
My life has not changed. From somebody looking at my life from the outside, I don't think they would see tremendous changes. But from my life, from the way I see it, and from the inside of me, it's just amazing what the changes that have happened in my life. I'm so grateful for it.
And you got married.
I got married. Yes, I got married to a woman that I was in a relationship, was engaged to before I got sober. So she stuck around, which I kind of count my lucky stars.
It's nice, a woman that sticks by her man when he's going through a rough time.
That's right.
Very admirable. So it's pretty amazing that the progress, and I love what you're talking about because a lot of people always look at the outsides, and I think we live in a society of looking at the outsides. We had obviously sad loss last week of Philip Seymour Hoffman, and everybody looks at his outsides and says, "Oh my God, the career is great. This is great." And in your case, the career was going well.
Yeah.
You were directing a hit show.
Yep.
But inside, it wasn't going great.
I had gotten 13 weeks before I checked myself into rehab. I got the dream job of my career.
Right.
And, I thought that there were a bunch of things that were going wrong in my life. I had been kind of struggling with a very bad divorce and a growing addiction. And so I got this job, and I thought, okay, this is perfect. The perfect opportunity for me to turn everything around. And then I realized, oh my God, I can't quit. I cannot quit. I cannot quit. And the harder thing for me was that I could not ask for help.
Right.
See, that's still the puzzling and baffling part of the disease for me. Is like I didn't have it in me to ask for help. I had to wait until things really kind of started to fall apart for me, and people stepped in and said, "Whoa, you got a huge problem, and we know it now." And my secret was out.
Right.
So that's when I was able to finally. That was like a big, huge burden that was off my shoulders. The secret that I was keeping for so long, and then once that was out, then I was able to find it in myself to turn things around.
I think that's a great message to people out there, because it's that you're as sick as your secrets, as they say, and I think that's the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing for an addict, and I've heard this often say, for an alcoholic is, the hardest three words are, I need help.
Yeah.
And we want to lose everything so then people will help. It's the only way we know of getting help sometimes.
That's right. That's right. And I grew up in a big Irish Catholic family, post-war. I have 3 sisters and 3 brothers, and I played sports all my life. Sports was a big, big, huge part of my life. And,
right.
it was like I had that sort of that total macho part of like, I get myself back up. I'll pull myself up by my bootstraps. I'm fine. I'm okay. I don't need help. I'll tough through everything. And addiction is just too big a beast for anyone to be able to do that.
And if you just tuned in, you're listening to KLEAN Radio. That's Paul Casey, director of The Bill Maher Show, The Jim Rome Show. Give us a call. The number is 800-222-5222. That's 800-222-5222. Caller just wants to check in, let us know how she's doing. Amy, as always, welcome.
Hi.
Say hello to Paul Casey.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Amy.
Hi.
How are you tonight, Amy?
I'm doing fine. I emailed you earlier today. I don't know if you got my email, but I just wanted to mention something that I've been wanting to say for quite a while, I guess, but just kind of a little bit of a brush over of my life. I've been in a domestic violence situation, and this month marks the almost the 3-year mark that I left the abuse, and it's also my abuser's birthday month.
Oh.
So I thought that I would celebrate some of the things that I no longer have to endure daily, and I thought that this might help someone that's in a situation like this. It might make them think twice about staying in a situation as long as I did, which was about 11 years. But I was going to touch on a couple of things that happened to me that might be occurring to someone else.
Well, Amy, I just want to ask you a quick question before you get into, because I actually think there's another way of also helping, because I actually got, somebody texted me the other day saying that they had just gotten out of a relationship, where the guy was abusive, and, she had bruises and all that stuff, and, she didn't see it. She didn't see it till the end. Mm-hmm. And when did you see it? What are some of the signs of somebody that is abusive? What are?
A lot of times it comes. It starts verbal, just a shy verbal comments, insults, just minor women's jokes that put women down. That's kind of how he started. He was belittling some of the things that, some knowledge that I had, and he found ways to belittle the knowledge that I knew, and then found ways to make it seem as if it was his idea instead of mine. And it just kind of started out verbal, and then it was slow sabotage of things that were important to me, that were precious to me, like family heirlooms would get, disappear or slowly get destroyed. And then from there, things escalated. to literal insults of how I cooked, what I wore.
So slowly, so basically what you're saying is like slowly but surely it was a control and manipulation type of thing.
It started out that way,
Yeah.
and then eventually it started getting physical.
Okay.
I think he broke me down mentally. I think the psychological issues, they know how to break you down mentally, and then once you're broken down mentally, they start physically,
Okay.
victimizing you.
So Amy, it's 3 years later. Tell us how you're going to celebrate this month.
Well, I wanted to say I no longer wake up to his freezing cold hands on my body. Flashlights shine in my face when I wake up. He doesn't push on my back incision anymore because he's not here. My mouth doesn't sting anymore when I brush my teeth in the mornings.
That's great.
I mean, these are some of the things that happened to me. But I'm celebrating by, I've been working on a writing project that I think I mentioned to you kind of on the side. And I'm getting ready to speak in front of a group of ladies coming up here in March.
And you're dating again.
And he came over for
Somebody else,
lunch
somebody
on
new.
Thursday, yes. And I fixed him 2 different kinds of Italian calzones.
Hey.
And he loved both.
There you go. So that's the secret to getting better is cooking Italian.
Yeah.
Because everybody loves Italian, Paul.
Yep.
The way to a man's heart is through a calzone,
Yeah.
right?
And he wants to come again this
Me,
week.
it's gefilte fish. So Amy, I'm really happy. And there's a lot of people, the courage that it takes for somebody like you to call, there are thousands out there that are listening that don't, and so whatever you're going through, all the stuff, the trials and the tribulations, that to come out of the other side 3 years later helps so many people.
Right. I'm very blessed to have survived this, and very blessed that I have the strength now to advocate for others. So that's my mission.
That's amazing, Amy. As always, keep us in the loop and let us know.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Amy.
you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And if you just tuned in, that was Amy calling from Vancouver, Washington. You're listening to KLEAN Radio. Paul, what's amazing, or in the studio with Paul Casey, what's amazing about Amy is, what's amazing about a lot of callers that call in every week is, we get to see them, on their trails of they're doing better. A lot like, when, in sobriety, getting to see people, from when they're new to when they get 3 years to when they get 5 years.
Yeah.
It's an amazing gift.
Yeah, it's an amazing journey.
Yeah.
To hear Amy's story and, how she was able to come out from under this, this oppressive man, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. And I think what's important, what she's doing now is important is in being active and making people aware of this, making people aware that there's a solution. That's, that to me, that's recovery. That's what recovery is for me. It's every day sharing with other suffering alcoholics, addicts, and living in a solution.
So now it's about 3 years later. Is it fully 3 years?
No.
Okay, so you're coming up on 3 years
Yep.
at some point. And, you were talking about the insides being different. What was, it's an amazing, because like you said, everything on the outside was going well. But how much fun is it not having to think about managing it anymore?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It's fun is not it's like carrying around a bag of rocks with you all day long,
right.
and I would say for me what comes to mind for me is like I live pretty much transparent, a transparent life. When I say I'm going to go do something, that's what I'm actually doing. I'm not. I don't string together a pack of lies all day long, deceiving people so I can get my fix.
Right.
It's so that's the amazing thing. It's living a transparent life, which has been, that's me dropping the sack of rocks. That's the number one thing.
Are you open about it? Because, you're obviously in the industry, you have a very big position. Do people know you're, well, obviously now they might know you're sober, but is this something you walk around? Like, how did that?
No. It's not something that I go squawking about. I kind of, I'm close to a couple of people in my industry who I work closely with, who have a lot more time than I am, and
I'm not stripping for you, by the way. It's just really hot in the studio.
I have my shoes off, so but I keep it to meetings. I really do. I keep it to meetings. I'm sponsoring a couple of guys and helping that way, but as they say in AA, one of our traditions is our public relations policy is based on attraction rather than promotion.
And you're a very hot guy, so who wouldn't want to have what you have?
Who doesn't want a piece of this?
So and by the way, if you just tuned in, you're listening to Clean Radio, give us a call. The number is 800-222-5222. That's 800-222-5222. In the end, like you were talking about, there are a lot of people out there that are struggling, that are going through a rough time. It's a Sunday night. What's the best suggestion for somebody that needs to get help?
As hard as it may sound, and I know how hard it was for me to do. I'd walked into people's homes, people that I know and very, good friends, people that I loved and people I knew who loved me, intending to tell them that I needed help, and I couldn't get the words out. And that's in the 6 months before, I finally did get help. And I would say, pick up the phone. There's somebody that you love that will understand. There's somebody that you love that will not judge you. There's somebody that you love that loves you as much, to help you get the help you need. That's what it is for me. Pick up the phone, go see somebody. Tell somebody you need help. And I wonder,
that it really is. For an addict, for an alcoholic, and I look back, and I'm sure, as we were talking about Philip Seymour Hoffman, there's so many people that wish at that moment they could stop. They just can't.
Yeah.
It's the hardest thing. And, people look at it and go, I don't get it. I don't get it. And they look at guys like you, and they look at guys like me sometimes going, I don't get it. Because you have you appear to have everything. The world by the cojones. And it's so hard for the layman, the regular people out there, whether it's your family member, to understand why an addict is doing this to themselves.
Right.
And there is no rhyme or reason.
No, I can't even articulate why I did. There was an emptiness in me that is just unexplainable. And it's the only way I could fill it, and it's very, very sad, really sad, and that's why it's not about stuff. It's the internal stuff. And I think a lot of people really don't understand that it's the insides. Yeah. And I couldn't explain it. I can't articulate it still. But yes, I had what looked like on the outside everything going for me. A nice family, a beautiful fiance, great job, and for some reason that that just wasn't good enough for me.
And what's great is that you didn't actually have to lose it all. And I think and that's an amazing thing, because to people out there, you don't have to lose everything to get help.
No, and I knew things were slipping away from me, right. and there was a. If you're out there thinking right now, if you're caught in this disease and you're thinking, what's the end game? Because I did a lot of thinking of, what is the end game here for me? When is this going to end? Am I going to kill myself? Am I going to get a car crash? Am I going to get arrested? Am I going to kill somebody else? What is the end game? And even with all of that, knowing that, okay, I'm doing, this is out of control, and I can't. I have this got a grip on me that I can't break.
Actually, that's a great point, because I was actually talking to somebody. What is your end game? Because with addiction, what is your end game? And I was talking to a good friend of mine today about a friend of ours that's in crisis, and he was trying to say to him before he relapsed, he was saying, "What's your end game? Here's a 9mm, because this is the end game.
Yeah.
This might be as good as it gets." And when addicts go out, the end game is, who knows? Best case scenario, you end up back in rehab.
Right.
And, there is no, that's maybe the crazy thing about addiction, is that there's no end game.
Yeah, there is no end game.
Yeah.
Ultimately, death.
Yeah.
you know,
and destruction. And maybe you're lucky. You know, you're right.
Yeah. I was, and the interesting thing is I saw things slipping away from me. And, you know, the great blessing is that before it all happened, for some reason, you know, I was able to turn things around.
As Paul Casey, director of the Bill Maher Show, the Jim Rome Show, a close personal friend, he actually took me to a Dodger game a few years ago and I actually caught a baseball. Paul is witness to me actually catching a baseball. And I got to tell you, a very hard moment for me was because it was me, Paul and his daughter and me, and I caught the ball. Paul got me the tickets, and normally I'd give the tickets to the ball to his daughter. But I caught the ball. I mean, you know, that debate went on in my mind. Give it to your daughter or keep the ball. I had to keep the ball.
You know, just look out for her to call in because she might have something to say on that.
But it was a very rough moment because, you know, what do you do? And I thought I did the right thing. How many times in your life are you actually ever going to catch a ball at a game?
You know, my daughter has heard me tell lots of stories about catching balls at Yankee Stadium.
Wow. Could have been taken a few ways.
In Atlanta, when I used to do a show in Atlanta for Turner, and they used to get us great seats. Huh. And you know, it's like, oh, I caught a ball and gave it to a little kid. I always give them away. Yeah. Always give them away. My daughter's get huge resentment the fact that she doesn't have one of the balls that I gave away to some other kid.
Oh, you know, I still have that ball. Maybe one day I will give it to your daughter.
You know, I don't remember the ball part of that game as much as I do the ice pack that you wore for the remaining 6 innings. So, you know, but
and if you're just tuning in, that's Paul Casey. We have calls lining up. We'll get to them after the break. Director of the Jim Rome Show, director of the Bill Maher Show, all around great guy. Somebody I've gotten to watch, you know, get better. And, I mean, it's really an honor of knowing people, you know, and for every one that sometimes, sadly, you see get better, there's 10 you don't. Yeah. And so you almost have to embrace the ones that you see get better, and then you see get to help other people get better. So if you're going through a rough time tonight, you don't have to anymore. The rough time could stop. So give us a call. The number is 800-222-5222. That's 800-222-5222. Paul Casey, Clean Radio. Discussion continues at cleanradio.com.
Don't let addiction to drugs or alcohol steal another year of your life. KLEAN Treatment Center provides world-class addiction assistance that also treats the underlying causes and provides vital aftercare so people can get clean and stay clean. Live, kind, professional help is standing by to provide immediate assistance or to simply answer questions and provide guidance. If you or someone you care about is suffering from addiction, take action now and make 2014 the best year of your life with KLEAN Treatment Center. Now back to Andrew Spanswick and Judah Friedman.
Welcome back to Clean Radio. Andrew is no here tonight. Send our best wishes out to his family out there in Ithaca, New York. We have Paul Casey in studio tonight with us. Paul, you know, we were talking about the amazing life you have, but, you know, one of the fun things I want to talk about is you actually have a lot of fun in sobriety.
I do.
You know, I mean, you do a lot of things. You have this big car. I love that you're a director in Hollywood of a CBS show, and you have the biggest gas-guzzling car known to man. And I know you own it, and I know there's 100. It's just the irony in it. But you go surfing. You just recently went. Yeah, to a different country.
Okay, my car is not PC, but it fits my surfboard in it, and it's paid for. Yeah. And you know, I have 3 kids, and you know, 2 of them are licensed drivers in their early 20s, and, you know, college students, and the third one just got her permit. And so, you know, my wife and I, we have 3 cars that have about 400,000 miles on them, and they're all paid for, and the kids, you know, can ding them, and it's all good. And that's not really ever been all that important to me. Yeah. But I have a beautiful life. Some of the things that I've done in the past year are just amazing. And on top of the wonderful things I've done, you know, my daughter's at school in Ireland, and my wife and I were able to bring her over and get her settled in school, and then travel around Europe for a couple of weeks. I was able to take my entire family, my wife and our 4 children together, to France for Christmas, and as I was fishing I went fly fishing. A guy from grew up outside of New York City in New Jersey, fly fishing in Montana with 3 guys for 4 days in October. It was just amazing, fantastic, and beautiful. But the things that really are making a difference in my life are what I'm able to do for other people, and what I'm able to give to other people without wanting or asking anything in return. My wife's family is in a little bit of a crisis right now. Her mother was just put into a home because she has Alzheimer's. Wow. And so, her dad, who got married, literally went from his parents' house to started a life with his wife 30 some odd years ago, is alone for the first time. He lives about 5 minutes away from us. He's spending a lot of time with us, and it's beautiful to be able to give him the attention that he wants. My daughter, who had she's an excellent athlete. My high school daughter, who had major knee surgery last year.
Is this the one I didn't give the ball to?
That's the one you didn't give the ball to. Major knee surgery, and to be able to be there for her in her recovery, to support her, get her to her appointments, get her to her physical therapy, and then she's the one who does all the work. But it's just been it's a beautiful recovery is a beautiful thing. I cannot bang that gong loud enough.
And that's Paul Casey. Give us a call. The number is 800-222-5222. That's 800-222-5222. Let's go to Lisa in Los Angeles. Welcome to KLEAN Radio, Lisa.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I just, congratulations, Paul Casey. I've never heard of you before, but...
That's because he wants to go unknown. He's the anonymous Paul Casey.
I have about, he sounds like a total success story and everything. I have a lot of time in AA, and about almost, 19 or 20 years this June, but I don't even keep track anymore. But to me, the way I'm feeling listening to him is that he's a little too excited. I don't mean to be rude, but
it's okay.
I'm saying that 3 years, I think that people listen. I'm talking about 3 years to me is early sobriety, and I don't understand why someone is on a talk show with only 3 years sobriety.
Well, because he's not.
As you know.
Lisa.
Yeah.
Lisa. First of all, 3 years of sobriety, I've met people with 20 years of sobriety, or 19 or 25 or 30 that are miserable.
That's true. I agree with
the
you.
length of time, but the point is, he's not talking about necessarily Paul hasn't said, AA, the point is that there are people out there right now that are struggling. We see so much death and destruction and demise that sometimes it's nice to hear from somebody that's that's doing well. That simply is facing life. And how many people out there that are struggling that could hear something like that, whether they have a drug problem or not, that could get stuff out of that.
No, I agree. I'm just saying that the reality, and you keep talking about Philip Seymour Hoffman. That's the reality. That's what happens to. That's what we hear about a lot in AA too. But you don't. What I'm saying is that
Paul seems too happy. That's
no. There's a lot of people like that in AA. They come in, and after a couple of years, they've got it down pat, and it's just those people that that can talk the talk and everything. But to me, it doesn't sound very, because I have heard it for so many years, that I just think people need to be careful of thinking that, I got 3 years and I'm cured. It doesn't really work that way, and I think we all know that.
Lisa, he never said he was cured.
Hey, Lisa, you know what I have? I have today. I have today.
Yeah, well, that's good. You've got the talk down. That's what I'm saying, and I'm hearing it. But I have way more time than you, and I don't sound nearly as sure of myself as you do.
Well, you sound actually, Lisa, why do you sound? But Lisa, why do you sound so unhappy?
I'm very unhappy right now, but I'm not using.
What's going on? What's going on, Lisa?
Why are you so unhappy?
Well, mine always stems from, I'm not unhappy, and actually you had someone on your show a couple weeks ago that I know very well, and I won't say who that is, but I'm saying, no, my problems are always relationship problems. That's what that's about. But I'm
Sorry.
not going to go and drink about it. Like, I understand addiction. I understand. And, yes, I am unhappy right now, and I am in a lot of pain. But I've never been on that pink cloud, I don't think.
I don't think Paul's on it. By the way,
I think he is on a pink cloud, and he sounds just like every kind of new person. They get it down.
Lisa, we got to go to a meeting because
you should hear me sharing a meeting.
I mean, Lisa.
I'd love to hear it. You sound, I'd love to hear what you said. I have problems, but you don't say what your problems are. I'd rather hear that than that, I have this wonderful life after 3 years. And someone that's in AA knows it doesn't work that way.
No, but Lisa, it's a program of attraction, not promotion. Every sober person gets a vote. We all get a vote to how we present ourselves in life and in the real world. Right. And so, it's like there's a great, you ever see Saving Private Ryan?
I did.
Okay, so, there's that scene in it where they're all bitching. Steve, can I say that on the air? And where they're all bitching, and they're all bitching to Tom Hanks, and they go, why don't you, don't you ever get upset? And he goes, in the Army or whatever they were in, I don't want to assault anybody. There's a line of bitching. It goes up. Bitching always has to go up. Yeah. So,
I guess what I'm saying is, and if we were talking about Philip Seymour Hoffman, then I'd like to know what was really going. That's what I want to hear. What's going on? Not, I'm a great success and this and that and everything's great. Well, what did happen 3 years ago? But we're not hearing that.
Lisa, he actually shared about it. He actually
Well, I've been listening since the beginning of the show, but I didn't hear
Lisa, what do you want to know?
No, I don't want to know anything.
Lisa, listen.
Sounds like you do.
I like to hear the real stuff.
Lisa, sometimes people's happiness is the real stuff. And I'm sorry that you're not going through happiness right now.
I like to hear about addiction and real stories and that kind of stuff.
But, Lisa, we got to run.
Okay.
Thanks for calling. And I love when you call. I think you've called before, so call anytime. That was Lisa commenting on Paul's happiness and her misery that Paul Casey is actually happy. And if you just tuned in, you are listening to KLEAN Radio, so give us a call. The number is 800-222-5222. That's 800-222-5222. Here's the thing, Paul, and we're talking about the 12 steps and 12-step meetings, and it's funny that sometimes some of us are scared to share our successes and things that are going well because people get, they'd rather hear the misery. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and, they would. I don't want to go into a room of doctors and none of them are able to, if you went into a room full of doctors and all of them were just miserable guys, would you want any of them opening up, giving you surgery?
Yeah, no. Yeah. And the bottom line is, we share in a general way. Yeah. But I was in a place in my life where I was close to losing my job. I was close to losing my house. I was close to losing my closest relationship and close to losing my sanity. Yeah. And, I was able to turn it around. And that's a beautiful thing.
There you go, Lisa. Paul's life was hell. And let's go to Bob in Dana Point. Welcome, as always, Bob, to KLEAN Radio.
Hey, a great show.
Thank you, Bob.
One thing, I tune in every Sunday night to listen to this because a factor of it is you have people on there, like tonight, who from the outside, like the Wizard of Oz, look like they have got it made. And then when you get behind the curtain and you see it, they got the same problems of everybody else. And they're, on your show, they're bucking up and saying, this is my problem. Don't think it's glamorous. And I've made a change. And you can make a change, too. And from your show, I've made a change in my life of cutting things out that I shouldn't be fooling around with. And I just want to thank you for that.
Hey, thanks, Bob. That means a lot.
That does mean a lot.
Yeah.
Steinberg was on there a couple years ago.
Yeah, he was on a couple weeks ago, too.
Well, I heard that one. But a couple years ago, it was like the lightning bolt coming out of the cloud.
He's talking about Lee Steinberg, for anybody that's just tuning in, Jerry Maguire,
Yeah, because you look at the movie and everything, you say, these guys have got it knocked, And that's why I have to do this, because I don't have it knocked. Well, the case is that everybody's got their own problems. And those that can admit it can come up to the bar.
Bob, thank you so much for the call.
Well, thank you for the program.
And please, Bob, anytime you want to call in, give us a call.
You bet. Okay.
Thanks, Bob. That was Bob and Dana Point. If you just tuned in, you are listening to KLEAN Radio. We're in the studio tonight with Mr. Sunshine himself, Paul Casey.
I apologize for that. I really, no, really.
Happiest man in sobriety. And you're listening to KLEAN. Give us a call. The number is 800-222-5222. That's 800-222-5222. Let's go to Raff. Raff, is that how we pronounce it?
Raff.
Raff. Welcome to KLEAN Radio, Raff.
Hey, great. Hi, Paul. How you doing?
Hey, Raff, what's up?
Hey, man, I just wanted to comment. Congratulations on your 1,000 days. It's
Yes.
awesome.
I had my 1,000 days.
I was like you, 3 kids, and my life was spinning out, and business was going down the tubes. My relationships were going down the tubes, and I walked into a meeting. I stopped drinking. I walked into a meeting, and then I found out that once the drinking stops, the nasty thinking takes over, and I had to deal with it. And that's what the steps were all about. I really had to get a handle on letting the higher power take over my thoughts when bad things would my critical thinking would get in the way, and it was amazing. I'm a little over a year now, and
it's okay to be happy, Raff.
Absolutely.
It's okay to have a year sober and be happy. It's okay to have 3 years sober and be happy. Hopefully
it certainly beats the alternative, doesn't it?
And you know what? Can I tell you something? That's what you just said. Paul just said is absolutely the truth. One of my closest friends, my sponsor, always says, whenever you're going through a rough time, look down the ladder and look down all the things that happened before. And as bad of a time as you're going on now, it's better. Whatever your bottom was, it's better than that.
Absolutely.
It's better than walking around, peeing in my pants, or not that I did that, but something like that. Raff,
we got close.
Yeah, I got, trust me, I probably did it. Raff, we got to run.
Okay.
Talk to you later.
Thanks, Raff.
And that was Raff in Los Angeles. Happy almost coming up on a year sober. Call us back when you do have a year sober so we could congratulate you. Let's go to April in Portland. Welcome to KLEAN Radio, April.
Oh, thank you. I'm not in recovery. I don't.
Nobody's perfect.
No, I know that. I'm the mother of an addict.
Oh.
I've just been informed by the sheriff that my son is an addict.
Okay.
And I wanted to say thank you for the positivity. I understand Lisa's point. I know that it's a long, long haul. But for right now, I need the positivity. I listen every week, and I thank you most sincerely. I really, really need this. Really help me hold together.
April, thank you so much. And I want to tell you something. We're in your area. We're over in Washington State. If there's anything we could ever do for you, you let us know.
Tell my son I love him, and it's time for him to get clean. He's really in dangerous zone right now.
Everybody listening will be sending out their prayer vibes to your son, April.
Thank you.
Thank you. Feel free to just check in with us and let us know.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye. That was April. Let's go to the calls are lining up. Paul, let's go to Lisa in Tacoma, Washington. Welcome to KLEAN Radio, Lisa.
Hi, I've never heard your program. I just happened to jump in my car after church and heard the talk.
That's great. From church to addiction. Lisa, are you there?
Yes.
Yes, you got to speak up a little bit.
Go ahead.
How can we help you, Lisa?
Oops, can you hear me?
Yes, we could hear you.
Okay. What did you ask me?
How could we help you, Lisa? Lisa, we're having problems with the line. Call back next week, please, and we will take you'll be the first one we take. If you just tuned in, you're listening to KLEAN Radio in the studio tonight with Mr. Happy himself, Paul Casey, and give us a call. The number is 800-222-5222. That's 800-222-5222. Let's go to Andrea from Long Beach. Welcome to KLEAN Radio, Andrea.
Hi.
Hi.
So this is kind of new for me, but I've got 2 people in my family that are addicts, and I don't know how to support them. Like, I just never know what to say, what not to say. I'm always kind of walking on pins and needles, and I just don't know how to support them from afar.
Are they active in their addictions?
No, they're both recovering. I just, want to.
Are you familiar? Are you familiar? Sorry, are you familiar at all with Al-Anon?
No, I haven't been.
That's a good idea because it's basically the sister program of Alcoholics Anonymous, and it will offer you a lot of insight into the alcoholics and to the addicts. And here's the thing: you shouldn't have to be walking on eggshells. And that's on you. You know, that part's on you. And even if it's going to therapy or Al-Anon, you got to take care of you, because I don't want you walking on eggshells because of addicts and alcoholics.
Right.
And you got to take care of you first, because if you don't take care of you first, you're of no service to anybody else.
Right. Right. Okay. That's a good idea.
And you know what? It saved my family's life. And I've seen it save so many people's lives, because I was the one that people used to have to walk on eggshells because of.
So what do you do in these meetings?
You know what? Go and find out.
Okay.
And, you know, there's, you call up Al-Anon, you call up information, you get the number from Al-Anon, and, you know, they'll take you. You know, somebody will figure it out, and you could listen. That's all you have to do is listen.
Yeah, keep your ears open and your mind open.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And
I appreciate it.
Can you do me a favor? Go this week and call us next week and let us know how it goes.
That would be awesome.
All right, I can try to do that.
You know what? We're going to put you on hold, and we'll get you the info. Okay, Andrea?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, a lot of calls tonight. If you just tuned in, you are listening to KLEAN Radio. We're in the studio with Paul Casey. Let's go to Brian in Los Angeles. Welcome to KLEAN Radio, Brian.
Hey, how you doing tonight?
Good. How are you? Are you happy, Brian?
I'm dangerously happy. I don't want to make anybody mad, though.
Yeah. It's okay.
I'll tell you what, this is the very first time I've listened to your program, and I work in the field, and I'm really glad I tuned in. I feel kind of bad about one of your previous callers. I won't mention her by name, but you know, not really knowing whether you got 19 or 20 years. I guess, I don't know. I keep pretty close track of how much time I've got, because I remember I used to just beg my higher power up in the sky to get me 9 days, you know?
Yeah.
Or 1 day. But anyway, I'm one of those painfully happy, sober people. I went this morning, and I went to a meeting this morning, and I shared about it, and it's like it's just going so very well for me nowadays, and I like to share that because I needed to hear that when I was struggling. And you know, lastly, I want to close by saying I think you guys are doing a great job with what you're doing, Paul. You're an example. You know, we need to know that some people make it, and like I said, I work in the field, and I insist on letting people know that I'm having a good time. You know, the party's not over. It's just the rules kind of changed. And, you know, some people are addicted to bad relationships, or addicted to the drama.
Or addicted to misery.
Yeah,
there you go.
Addicted to misery.
Yeah.
I mean,
and this isn't a knock on anybody. I pray for everybody out there. You know, you never know what's going on in somebody's life today. So maybe some people that call are having the roughest time, and God bless. I pray for them, because we don't know what's going on. And, you know, you catch somebody in a bad moment, and that's why you never judge right away or evaluate right away, because we don't know what's going on in people's lives. Brian, we got to run. Thank you so much. Go to Facebook.com/KLEAN Radio. Subscribe. Help us out.
Yeah, well, I'll do that, and you guys will be hearing from me again. I really enjoy the show.
Anytime, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Take care.
That was Brian. Let's go to Serena in Portland, Oregon. Welcome to KLEAN Radio, Serena.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah, I've never tuned in before, but we're snowed in Portland. We've had 3 days of a snow and ice storm, but I've managed to get to at least one meeting a day.
That's amazing. And whatever gets people to listen to KLEAN Radio, I'll take it.
Yeah, and I'm on my way to a meeting. It's really weird.
Oh, cool.
Drive carefully.
You know, through my addiction, I would make it through rain, sleet, or snow, so I figure I need to put that same effort into my recovery.
That's exactly right. And how long are you sober?
I recently had a relapse.
Oh, that's okay.
My original clean date was July 5th, 2012, and the new one is January 6th, 2014. So I just have 34 days.
That's not just, okay? Don't say just. You know,
yeah, it is a long time, because I went back out for a year.
Yeah. You know, they used to say to me in New York, if you don't take a drink today, and if you don't take a drug today, you're a miracle.
Yeah,
you know,
one
because
day was... Yeah.
So 34 days, just because Paul has the 3 or I have a certain amount of time, it's not quantity, it's quality of time.
Oh, I know. Yeah, this last month compared to the last year of my life has been amazing.
Yeah. So Serena, listen, stay in touch, please. Go to Facebook.com/KLEAN Radio. Let us know how you're doing. Feel free to call back whenever you want.
Yeah, I definitely will. Thank you.
Yeah, keep up the good work.
And
Thank you very much.
drive safe, please.
I will. Thanks.
Thank
Talk to
you.
later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And if you just tuned in, you're listening to KLEAN Radio. The calls are lining up, and Lisa has sparked quite the conversation. She really has, and I'm not saying this. I would love to anytime go to Lisa. I beg of you, go to Facebook.com/KLEAN Radio. Tell us who you are or privately. We will hang out in a public place whenever you want. Let's go to Jonesy in Albany, Oregon. Welcome to KLEAN Radio. Did I pronounce it correctly?
Yeah, man. How's it going, guys?
It's going well.
Jonesy.
Paul, you gotta take it down a notch, bro. I mean, that's 3 years, man. I mean, that's just wow. It's way up there, bro. It's way up there. No, man, it is. This is awesome. This show. I have 26 years. I got sober when I was a teen, and you know, I get really traditional. I get really into the steps. But and my first reaction to the show was like, what? What is this? You know?
Right.
And now that I'm hearing it, you know, I know the facts of my life is that when anything new comes into my life, I run away from it like crazy. And listening to the show, it is just awesome to be part of it. And just to hear it and have it on the broadcast. And to tell you the truth, coming from L.A. to Albany, Oregon, has been just like, it's just crazy. And to hear some quality people talk about recovery as it is just amazing. And Paul, dude, 3 years is a freaking huge deal.
Well, I'm not there yet.
Like,
I'm not there yet. I still got a couple months.
Take back everything I said, man. I'm sorry. No, but,
you know, Jonesy, just so you know, call back anytime. But, you know, one of the things, and you're right, a lot of people might first hear the show, and it just happens tonight that this is the topic. Well, one of the reasons we wanted to talk about stuff, you know, since we've been doing the show, is just awareness, is having this dialogue. Because there isn't always that in 12-step meetings. There's not always dialogue.
Right.
And sometimes people are scared to ask questions because they're scared.
And you know what? When you're coming up on your first 5 years, you go through everything for the first time, and each time it's more successful, you know. And I know those low points, and they're really hard, you know. But it's so refreshing to hear what you guys are doing on the show and that you guys are bringing this up. Because there's a lot of good recovery out there that needs to get reiterated all the time, just like myself. So thanks for the show, guys.
Thank you, Jonesy.
Thank you.
That was Jonesy. Let's go to John. It's Paul. You know, you're getting so much love tonight, Paul. And let's go to John in Donlonga, Georgia.
Man, you blew that up. It's Dahlonega, Georgia. How you guys doing?
I'm from Brooklyn. Okay, I came close, John.
You did fine, man. Hey, listen, 17 years clean and sober, and the fact is that I did not get clean and sober to be miserable. The whole thing is that I got real sick of the way things were, and I wanted to get well.
Thank you so much for that.
You know,
Here.
They told me if I kept doing this and learned from the people that knew what they were doing, that I could have a pretty decent life. And what they did is just help me just build this incredible foundation that I just kept repeating over and over and over again, and doors started to open, and my life got really, really big. So, but I don't forget where I came from. That's the important thing.
Where do you come from? Because you don't sound like you come from Georgia.
Well, South Florida. I grew up in South Florida, and they made me an offer to come up here. Made me an offer I couldn't refuse. I actually have family up this way, but I was in radio for a lot of years, too. Kind of lost the accent.
Listen, John, we got to run.
Go.
Please call back anytime you want. That was John.
Thanks, John.
You know, Paul, I just realized something, because you do direct the Bill Maher show, and as Lisa was calling and talking to you, I know how conservatives feel on the Bill Maher show. That's, you know, that moment you were sitting there maybe squealing a little bit. That's how I feel.
Well, you know,
no, I'm joking.
I tell you what, it's you know, I just like I'm just adverse to negativism, you know, and you know, listen, it's there's a lot of people out there who know a lot more than I do about sobriety, about recovery, about 12-step programs, about all that stuff. And, you know,
and that's not what this is about.
Yeah.
You know, this is about you sharing what happened. You know,
exactly.
Your life being a mess.
Exactly. My life was a mess, and you know, it's really good now. It's and it's
okay to say it's good. You know? I know. You know, one time I heard somebody say, you know, but you know, somebody was like, I'm scared to talk about God. And they said, where are you going to scare them off to? you know, and it's like, you know, if you talk about being happy, where are you going to scare people to? It's okay.
Yeah.
I just want to get very quickly, we're running out of time. Heather, just check in. You got 20 seconds. Tell us how happy you are in Vermont.
Okay. Well, this week is better. I had like a 10-hour date yesterday.
Hey, now.
I had an awesome time.
Was it? Never mind. Did it start at night and end in the morning?
From the convention.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
It's,
I'm going to have to teach him how to kiss, but, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's like one of those kisses where, like, his mouth was even covering my nose.
Okay,
like,
Heather, that's a different show. Share that next week with us, and giddy up. That's Heather, by the way. Just so you know, when she first started calling the show, she couldn't date. She's going through a divorce, all this stuff, and now she's getting her
Heather
groove
in
on.
Vermont?
Yeah.
Nice.
Good for you, Heather.
Way to
Let's
go,
get one
Heather.
last. You got 15 seconds, Todd. Todd is in the mental institution where they shot One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He's our last caller every week, Paul.
Wow.
Todd, 15 seconds.
Hey, it sounds like that person's having uniqueness problems.
Okay.
And I don't know. I'm glad that Paul Casey is clean and sober.
So am I.
Yeah. So is society. And Todd, we're all happy where you are too.
Yeah, I'm supposed to have a hearing on March 21st, but I'm not really sure what's going to happen. So
you'll keep us in the loop, Todd. But we got to run.
Okay. Have a
Talk
nice
to you
evening.
next week,
Thanks, Todd.
We're part of Todd's treatment plan. He's actually in that facility where they shoot One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Paul
Where is
Casey. It's in Salem, Oregon. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You got to do this again.
I will.
You know, that's Paul Casey. I don't even want to say what you do, but I'm going to say it anyways. He's an amazing director. He directs the Bill Maher Show, the Jim Rome Show. I want to thank everybody out there. If you're sick or you're struggling and you want to be happy, call 888-601-6040. That's 888-601-6040. I want to thank everybody for calling in tonight, supporting us, whether you're going through a good time or a bad time. If you're alive, there's still a chance. I want to thank Rand, Anthony, Patrick, Brian, all our callers, Monique. Discussion continues at KLEANRadio.com.
Don't let addiction to drugs or alcohol steal another year of your life. KLEAN Treatment Center provides world-class addiction assistance that also treats the underlying causes and provides vital aftercare so people can get clean and stay clean. Live, kind, professional help is standing by to provide immediate assistance or to simply answer questions and provide guidance. If you or someone you care about is suffering from addiction, take action now and make 2014 the best year of your life with KLEAN Treatment Center.